I would like to have you, if you would, go through the whole instructions about the Annassa temple again.
Okay, the Annassa temple is where we go when we want to have a conversation with someone that we know if we have the conversation in the here and now, verbally, that nothing good will come of it. We know because we've had the conversation several times, or we just know because we've been there with this person numerous times. So, what we do is we first carefully sit with ourselves and really, in a meditation, go deeply into what it is that we really want to convey to this person that we don't feel is being heard. And we look for it by considering what is the highest possible way we can participate with this person. What message is likely that we really want to get through? And so this task of creating the message that we want to deliver is really very, very important. So we take the time before we go to the Annassa temple to really articulate what it is we want to say. Say it's somebody we're close to that we just can't have a conversation with. And very often this happens with our children, our relatives, our parents, people that we're really close to. So we sit and we feel for our love. And through our own love, we feel into the highest best for the whole. And then we craft a message that conveys our complete support for the other person's highest best, our complete love. And most of all, our faith that that person has the capacity to find that highest best in themselves. And our wish to support that in them in whatever way is possible. And that's sort of uh, that's a very general way that we can craft our message. And then if there's something more detailed that we want to give beyond that, we we can. It will come to us what the highest way to say that is. So this is the first step, is carefully crafting the message that we want to convey to the other person in such a way that it supports the highest best for us, the highest best for them, and the highest best for the whole. So, having crafted that message, the Annassa Temple exists as a space where we can go and be in complete divine energy, source energy, to interact with this person. So, what we do is we've crafted our message, we're ready to go, and we really create a journey with it because we don't want to do this in any familiar space. Because all our familiar spaces contain all our familiar patterns of interaction with this person. And we don't want any of those familiar patterns to be present in this communication. So what happens in the Annassa temple is the delivery of this message. That's the minimum that happens. So we have our carefully crafted message, and you understand this can happen over a whole arc of a series of trips to the Annassa temple. It's usually not just one visit that will change the pattern that we're hoping to impact. So we visualize ourselves in a white room. We're wearing light clothing. We know it's a nice day outside. And we kind of gather ourselves with our intention to go to the Annassa temple. And so we're in, if not a meditation space, a very quiet space by ourselves. And we open the door to this room and we create the same visualization each time so that we begin to have a pattern of how we visit the Annassa temple. So we step outside of this room, and to our left, there is a beautiful meadow. It's a blue sky. We can feel the sun on our skin. And in front of us, there is a pine forest. And we walk into the pine forest. We have bare feet, and we can feel the mat of old pine needles, very soft, underneath our feet. And the sun kind of dapples our skin as we go underneath the trees and come out and underneath and out. And we wind around this path and up a hill and down the other side, and we see the temple in front of us in the distance. And we feel a quickening in ourselves because we are participating in something unusual and rare. As we come up to the temple, we see that there's a small brook flowing between us and the temple. And we take the opportunity to wash our feet as a symbolic cleansing of our intention. And as we step out on the other side, we dry our feet in the grass, maybe even sit down for a minute and gather our intention again, and repeat the sentence or two or three sentences that we want to say to the person. And we feel the momentousness of the opportunity to communicate from our highest self to the highest self of the other person. So, with that intention, we step up one step to the Annassa temple. And we'll describe the temple. It's a domed structure that has 8 sides to it. And every other panel has a window. There's one door. There are curtains blowing in the breeze. As we enter the temple, we feel the quality of the sacred space. We notice that there are 2 chairs, one for us and one for the other person. We take our seat in the chair and we invite the other person to sit in the other chair. We feel Annassa's presence around us. We bring forward, as soon as the other person is present, we bring forward our statement that we would like to deliver to their highest self. We have invited their highest self as we are presenting our own highest self. We deliver our message. We allow the other person to leave. knowing that our message has been received. We gather ourselves. We express our gratitude to the Annassa temple, to Annassa for creating this space. We can namaste and bow. It doesn't have to be a big deal. And when we're ready, we stand up and leave the temple. We may want to sit outside on the grass for a few minutes and gather ourselves before we begin the journey back to the white room. And when we get back, as we're ready, we come back to our real life, knowing that our message has been delivered. And then we do nothing in the relationship with that person. We just wait and see what happens. And our experience has been across the board that there is a change. And this is a way that we can begin to address the difficult relationships in our lives that we have experienced, that communication in a physical, verbal way is no longer really productive for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. We all have relationships that get to that point. And so this is a way to begin to change the energy that we are communicating with and from in ourselves to this person, and to express our desire for something different. And for all of us, we have relationships that have to be tended to in the Annassa temple, sometimes frequently, sometimes rarely. But it's a very, very powerful way to interact in these situations. And we've had them ourselves in everything from business situations that, were not going well, to very personal situations that were not going well, to, even these big political disagreements, to participate in the Annassa temple every once in a while to try to dissolve some of these polarities is not a bad idea, because at least we're dissolving them in ourselves. And who knows what we're doing in the big picture. So we hope that answers your question.